uh, it became a political issue. There was a lot of talk on Twitter about it. And someone who had Elon Musk's ear on Twitter, as someone who he might have responded to on occasion, said, "Hey, Elon, you're building these batteries, these big power plants." They had announced the idea of these power pack units that you could just slot into place, have an array of them, and have backup for your building or your campus or small town. And he sort of challenged Musk to do this. And Elon came back and says, "Yeah, okay, we'll have it ready by Christmas, and if it's not, we'll do it for free."
Uncle Gold Clips. I know they've been involved in experimenting with city batteries, not just car batteries. I think it was in Australia where they're testing it out, and they're getting really, really great results. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure, yeah. So I think it's New South Wales. They had this, what was it, 70 megawatt hour battery installation, something like that. I'm usually wrong on my numbers. But the reason for that was that, first off, in Australia, the electricity market was crazy expensive. People were having to choose between, people on not really low incomes were having to choose between doing the shopping or paying for the electricity. There were rolling blackouts and brownouts because the infrastructure that was over there was based on coal power plants and then gas powered relief stations. So if there was a blackout from a coal power, they'd spin up a gas plant to fill that need in the market. But a gas plant takes time to spin up. And so you get brownouts in between times, get blackouts. Sometimes the grid would fail because of surges associated with all of that. So you had all sorts of issues, which ended with a human cost. There were people, in some cases, losing their livelihoods because of this. And so it became a political issue. There was a lot of talk on Twitter about it. And someone who had Elon Musk's ear on Twitter, as someone who he might have responded to on occasion, said, "Hey, Elon, you're building these batteries, these big power plants." They had announced the idea of these power pack units that you could just slot into place, have an array of them, and have backup for your building or your campus or small town. And he sort of challenged Musk to do this. And Elon came back and says, "Yeah, okay, we'll have it ready by Christmas, and if it's not, we'll do it for free." So sure enough, he did it. It was ready by Christmas. And when they brought it online, the first time it was sort of called into action in that sort of relief mode where it makes up for a drop in power, it came up to full strength in a quarter of a second. 70 megawatts provided to the grid within a quarter of a second of the failure of the coal plant that it was relieved.
Nice.
There's islands in the Pacific that are completely powered now by solar plants and a power pack array. And that means they don't need to get fossil fuels delivered on a weekly basis in expensive freighters and then burn that in polluting generator systems. And it's a really, really nice solution. So I expect to see those popping up in a lot of places. And one of the things actually that could come out of Battery Day is if the energy density, the power per unit of volume, comes down and that brings the price down, we could see home storage becoming extremely affordable, because Tesla already does a version of the power pack called the Powerwall for home energy storage, and that's like maybe a 1/5 of a Model S battery that can back up the power that you would need to run your house for like 3 or 4 days.
Nice.
You have a solar power system, then you charge during the day, you draw from this during the night, and you're sorted. But they cost, I think, 20 grand for a Powerwall. If they can bring that price down to like 4 grand, then that starts to be a standard utility that you install in a house when you're building it.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the full version, go to the Uncle Gold Podcast YouTube channel or watch the next clip.